Saint no one will love you. Saint no one will care. Saint no one will always and never be there. Those are the words my guest Brian Gibson first amazed me with when he began working with me a few months back. Words that spit out from a seemingly schizophrenic expressionist painting he gave me as a gift. What a wonderful turn of phrase. The lines in Saint No One seem to sum up magic in a nutshell. Saint No One will always and never be there. The Hebrew words la, for naught or nothing, and all, encompassing God or everything, come to mind. Nothing becomes all. Saint No One will always and never be there. Brian has an intuitive understanding of magic. Like most practitioners of powerful magic, he feels he doesn't know much within the field, but making paintings that articulate the ponderings of the subconscious mind as perfectly as his do, one tends to think he knows more than he lets on. With songs like Jaundice and Are You There, God, It's Me, Brian, slow, crushing chords come crashing down, reminiscent of metal but ever so slightly held back a little, into what immediately takes form as lush, lo-fi psychedelia, raw as it is real. His voice is full of anger and sadness, something halfway between a whimper and a howling. He first showed me some of his more raw demo material as I lay on the floor of the room where he currently stays. A vibrant and bright energy emanated from the many colorful paintings, both of his and his friends, hung up, or new and propped up against the wall from the floor. Is anyone else doing stuff like this in Vegas these days, I asked? No, he replied. Not to my knowledge. We are the Order of the Red Moon podcast.
I've learned a lot in the last month since knowing you guys, and basically I'd say that magic to me is removing pretty much all doubt and letting your, harnessing that energy that you've always had every time something goes right and you go for something and you actually grab it, and it's that. I don't know how to describe it. Because magic is so personalized, it's hard for me to articulate.
We're highly against what I like to call bystanders, or people who just kind of sit on the sidelines.
You need to be active.
Actively, whatever you do it the best.
Yeah, it's about taking responsibility ultimately. I think in some other, I love all religions, really, but in certain religions when they say things like, you come to us and we will absolve you of all your sins. It takes away a lot of responsibility, because if you can just apologize every time you do something.
God's got me, even though I just married that woman. It's cool. We talked.
Totally. If you can apologize for something every time that you do something wrong, then where's the responsibility?
It's very interesting though, because that takes on I'm looking at what's killing me right in the face, and then you need to know what to do after that. You can let it consume you over and over, which is usually what happens for a while.
Just know that it's never too late to do the right thing.
Yeah. Years could pass and you're still grieving, but you could make it that day or today that you
make a switch.
Right. Because
it's
the
never
more
too
you
late.
grieve over something, the less you're really respecting yourself and whatever you're grieving over.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah. You're punishing yourself from being It's interesting. I met you guys once I got out of that relationship I keep talking about getting out of with you guys, and it's interesting because
Well, that's great.
yeah, it separated me from that person,
Yeah.
and I realized, holy shit, I'm all I needed this time, and that is
I was
magic.
gonna say,
That
you
is
were kind
magic.
of separate from that person the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And
It was.
That probably was the ultimate problem with that relationship was,
I wasn't recognizing myself. I wasn't even a part of my life. If that
Right.
makes sense. That was all about her, and
Right.
that was so unhealthy. And
Right. You felt like you were sacrificing.
Like,
well,
why?
no,
Like,
it's
since-
not, but she should have been all about you.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
yeah,
I think
but
that you were just doing what you expected she was gonna do anyways,
Mhm.
so you didn't really feel like you had to have your own back, because you're like, man, if I got her back like this,
she's got
my back
mine.
like
Yeah,
this.
but that was false.
And
unfortunately.
that's how you remain knowing who you are.
I feel like this is relative. Like in a relationship, you're supposed to magic. In a relationship, you're supposed to put in 100% between both of you. Well, one of my friends says, no, fuck that, like 60 or 70. If both of you are putting in that much, you're gonna be
Maybe put in 44%.
Yeah, put in.
Yeah, never give
44
all-
is such a
never give
perfect
all
number.
To someone else. I
But
mean,
you need to be, both of you need to be going extra hard.
Well, that's
all
just
times and
that should be
being
your
yourself.
relationship with the world, really. I don't really think
Exactly,
that anybody
that's
should
what I was
be.
getting at. Yeah.
I'm kind of becoming increasingly irritated by dismissal. I mean, obviously, sometimes you need to dismiss people, but really, I mean, it's fear most of the time. Oh, this person's gonna hurt me. I'm just gonna ignore them.
or I'm afraid of what they believe in, and what that encompasses.
Or
And
what
I'm
they
a
might
lazy
say.
thinker, so I don't really want to go there. And it's like, yeah, well, that's a personal, like Bob Dylan said, if they're uncomfortable with their position in their place, it's not my problem.
Right.
But like in the order and with magic we believe is all about lifting each other up.
Right.
That's
And,
exactly
and
what it
helping
is.
each other figure out, how to get rid of that fear and to be able to pursue whatever that is.
Dude, it's cheesy, but it's almost like, living life.
It is absolutely about living life to your fullest and laying out what you want to do,
Yeah.
your goals.
And boundaries, setting
They
them.
exist for a reason.
Yeah, cliches exist for a reason.
They do.
Brian, I wanted to have you kind of maybe explain, like you said, the last month since we've been hanging out, in kind of like from kind of like a storyteller perspective, so that maybe we could, play parts of it over eerie music and just kind of explain like the last month. It's been a strange month for you, right?
It's been an extraordinary month, actually, like, no joke.
Guys, wait, before you get to this, I just want to say something really weird. This is in my inbox, there's 44 messages.
Right, that happens all the
That's
time.
just weird.
Yeah, I see that
Yeah,
number
the other
everywhere.
day, I won $500 with 4 aces,
Right,
ones,
Wow.
and then with a kicker, a 4.
yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that until you.
You see it
The
everywhere.
lady out, you should have tipped her so you exactly had
Right.
$444.
Exactly.
You know that you're working within the current when you see the number 44 everywhere and coincidence starts to happen.
I
at
was
multiply
seeing
rate.
it after I split up with Victoria, and I'm not trying to bash her in any way. It's just saying, I had a fault of believing that someone else could lift me up, but only I could lift me up.
Right,
So,
of
you know,
course.
Right, man.
And having people like you guys in my life really helps.
Well, you have to.
Because you have good friends that actually contribute
Yeah,
to
but
Right.
it's only easy for us if you make it easy for us.
Yeah, seriously.
It's become a myth that you're not allowed to empower yourself because it's selfish or something like that. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, you look all.
we respect like
Pompous.
Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan so much because all he was really doing was preaching self-empowerment.
Be yourself.
Hey.
Yeah, don't do something that someone else. The golden rule.
Right.
Don't be a dick.
Why don't you tell us about the first day you came over? You know what, like.
I was gonna say, to sum up the month I've had though, all year I haven't played shows. All year I haven't really
Right.
been painting. I've
Us-
just
us
been
neither.
working.
Yeah.
Domestic. And the moment I left that and started focusing on myself and realizing I do still have these ideas. I can still paint. I am still original. I'm still Brian Gibson.
You'll always be.
Yeah, I still
Nobody
have
can
my
take that
essence.
from you. Yeah.
So, alright, the last month, that being said, realizing that and really harnessing it, it's
Right.
been, I've played with the Rio,
Yeah.
got paid for that, sold 3 paintings, did First Friday for the first time ever, Art Walk.
Really?
Yeah, and did like video work for this local theater group, and just all these things that I've always wanted to be involved in, like music again, and theater. I've always wanted to see theater, and my friend just, when I allowed these things to happen, that's what magic is. Like, allowing, just being open to it.
Yeah, actually,
even coming over here is fucking weird. It wasn't weird. It was. That's really testing.
Brian was actually fucking brave enough to say yes, and we hardly knew him.
Bite.
Yeah, it was funny.
And surprisingly, like there have been quite a few people before him
who suck,
who have done the same thing.
You were telling me.
And the only successes we've ever had were people who are not local, people who live in a different city or state, because the other people came here and either left their demons here or came here and sarcastically and
made fun of it.
They
Yeah,
kind of tried to, but they can't really, because with me around, it's like try to make fun.
We make fun of ourselves
Yeah.
all the time.
Like there's no fucking way.
Beat
So
me
ultimately,
to it.
they tried to get something for nothing or everything for nothing.
Right.
And
that's the biggest mistake people make.
it's
Is
just gonna
like,
backfire.
Yeah.
you need to put in your, like, God is what I, Lord, whatever.
What is God
My
to you?
higher power.
Yeah.
It's that part of me that helps me write these songs. It helps me go to work. That helps me like get through the day.
Do you have a name for it, or is it?
I usually just say Lord.
Lord, that's that has very strong Hebraic origin.
Does it?
Well, yeah, the real word for God is the Tetragrammaton. It's unpronounceable. They call it Adonai, which is Hebrew for Lord.
Well, yeah. Every time we say a prayer, it's like Baruch Atah Adonai, and that does literally translate out to Blessed art thou Lord. Our God.
I'm gonna go ahead and say right now that Judaism is the most satanic religion on the planet. We're rocking satanic, like imagery, symbolism, origin with Judaism. 100%. Satanists who are anti-Semites are fools. But to say Lord, that is absolutely like that is Jewish, man. That's like incredible. Yeah, it's like wild.
See, I don't have any book knowledge on spirituality. I've always just
I never did either, really.
I've always had
until I
this
met
gut
Wyatt.
feeling. Yeah.
I'm a book nerd on magic, but you don't have to be. I think once you can open up the
felt it.
Akashic record inside of you, and you can feel magic intuitively, you don't really need to read 1,000 books. That's a different type of person.
Yeah, no, you feel it. And I remember going to church when I was younger because my buddy was into it, and I wasn't into the Bible because people could write a book all day. You know what I mean? That's what it was, a book. And it's a little bit biased, but whatever. All I'm saying is
It's hard to understand.
it's a gut feeling, man. There's a reason why all these religions exist, and there's a reason why
There's something embedded in the subconscious mind.
About what happened the other night after I had the dream?
No, not really. Go ahead.
Just real short, I had this terrifying dream, and I'm really, really good with working in my dreams.
Yeah.
Because I worked so hard to do that for so many years.
you've explained that you do a lot of astral.
I do dream work is my I would say emphasis.
Yeah, Kim
okay?
dreams a lot.
So
That's amazing.
basically though, this dream was so out of control, I didn't know whether I was dreaming or I was awake.
Yeah.
And
I'm
that
always sleeping
never,
next to
ever-
her.
That never happens. That's so rare. And there were these demons in my dreams, right? And long story short, I spit out this black thing, and it ended up being like a dead fucking bat. And I think I literally spit out a demon. And then I woke up and I was so terrified. I was telling Wyatt about it. I was like, Wyatt, wake up, listen to what just happened. I mean, I can't even explain the feeling, right? And I guess he silently hoped for the chariot or something.
I prayed for Michael.
And not even 10 minutes later, and this literally made me cry when I told him about this the other day, I heard this fucking trumpet, and it seemed like it came literally from the fucking heavens. Yeah. It was so loud.
The chariot of heaven, the Merkbah.
It was so fucking loud. I thought to myself, this is not a dream. Like, I would have heard this if I was awake, and then I asked him, did you hear that? And he said, yes, I heard that. Like, anybody, I'm surprised, like, I'm not hearing about people who heard that.
Right. I mean, she brings
It was that.
It gave me,
She brings up a valid point. I mean, once you start to really get...
And I felt like I was chasing any demons away.
Yeah. Once you really start to get embedded into magic, I mean... There are these things that happen on the subconscious plane to groups of people that are into similar things that are identical. I mean, we do a lot of ritual, and then we'll do post-ritualistic research, and it's like, Michael comes in the same direction that he's written to come in books.
So,
it's crazy. I mean, new deities will come and we'll do post-ritualistic research, and they come in that exact direction, and they look that way. They look the way they look in paintings. There is definite concrete reality to this.
I had no idea to know these things.
Yeah, you just felt it though.
Not even at all.
I remember the other night.
They just come to me.
Yeah. I've seen you guys do a couple of rituals.
Yeah, explain it, because you probably gave witness to one of our strongest rituals that we let a third party encounter. Like, what was that like?
I remember we waited until midnight, or about 1. It was in that.
Yeah, it was around between midnight and 1.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, I'm going to transcribe what you're saying. What were you doing? Not a banishment. Not being a banishment.
Well, I banish in the beginning. I banish in the beginning every time. It's just customary. We banish before and afterwards.
Clear it.
Yeah, and then we open with a banishing ritual of the pentagram, and then I do the hexagram ritual, which opens a macrocosmic portal through which entities can visit. And we were
temporarily, or
temporarily until I banish. Until I banish. When I banish, it closes that portal, at least temporarily. Yeah. So we asked just kind of like our pantheon of gods to visit. I think Lam was here. Lam is like our introductory. He's like an alien angel.
Samael didn't leave, and that was the problem.
Yeah, Samael is the angel of death.
Though.
Yeah.
You knew, because like after that you saw, you're like, I still feel pretty weird.
Yeah. Samael is the angel of death, and he's become very embedded in my subconscious. He visits me a lot. He appears to me, and he's like, everyone has like their own personal dragon kind of to battle, Yeah. And I realized I had to deal with some
In Touch with Babylon, that Jack Parsons thing.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, it feels like something that's been since I was a child.
Yeah.
Like almost like a preordained destiny that, you know.
It's a certain type, it takes a certain type of woman like him, and it really, Babylon represents her heart, and it represents her earth sphere, and it represents the subjective world to Kim.
It's interesting
Right,
you
like, I
said.
can be more objective, but she's
Well,
a lot more subjective.
Samael is my objective world, more or less. You know, the darker parts of me in an objective sense. What were you going to say?
It's interesting. She said childhood, like, because that's, you just know from when you're a kid.
Oh yeah.
You
Right.
just feel it.
Did you have any weird dream visitations when you were a kid or anything?
I always remember this one dream. I was in the library and it was like almost post-apocalyptic, and I met a boy and a girl, a bigger sister and a younger brother, and we were walking through this desert, and this fucking huge spider,
Wow.
Dude, I always have
entity.
spider dreams.
Yeah, and it
Always.
stuck with me so hard. It was so real, and I don't know, the two companions I met, it was just such a strong, it was real.
Yeah. Almost reminds me of
was
Kim and
weird.
that kind of like.
It wasn't a dream.
I know.
It was
I know.
weird. I don't know how to
No,
say
I
it
had
right
dreams
now.
like that too. The spider,
It
yeah.
was so surreal.
In that corner over there in the room, this giant robotic spider appeared to me a few years ago. It was 3D. I'd never seen anything like it. I was.
Yeah. The last 4 years have been crazy. For you too, it sounds like.
Oh,
But for me,
yeah.
it's been like a whole new transformation. Because I went from, getting fucked up all the time, which is fine, but it wasn't fine for me at the time.
Yeah.
And I had to, go and just stop everything and kind of cleanse myself with the friends I was hanging out with, just everything, just reset it.
Right.
Right.
And now I find myself, in a much healthier place to do anything I used to, but I have the perspective that,
Keeping your better.
yeah, there's
self-
discipline
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
And,
There.
it's almost just creating healthy boundaries for you.
For myself,
Yeah.
not for other people. I used to blame everyone else. And
Yeah.
now it's more of like,
We
I
don't
am.
want our initiates to feel like victims ever.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst place to come from.
Yeah,
Because
To
we're
feel
ego.
like you're controlled by something else. No, you control everything else
Yeah, it's
around
an
you.
easy
and
way
you
to
allow
not take
it.
responsibility
Yeah.
for what has happened in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not your fault, but I mean, the outcome of how you act is gonna be up to you, no matter what's happened to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you come
Yeah,
from a
things come at you,
perspective
and
of-
you have to. I've learned to create this buffer zone. It was really cool. Like I've been going to therapy for the whole summer, and that's my thing. But I've learned through
Well,
that.
if it helps you, dude, we encourage that.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. Just learning to set boundaries for people and myself.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
And
like I will not accept this.
Yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
I think most of the
Kind of like
problem
Satanism
is like people's expectations of others.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're gonna have expectations of somebody else with no boundaries, you're going to be let down.
You're
Yeah.
gonna get sad.
You're gonna get hurt. And half the time, like, we know that though. And so, like, we were talking about that fear of success earlier.
Yeah.
And that kind of ties in with that. Kind of almost wanting to set yourself up for failure.
Yeah. It happens to Kim and I all the time.
Yeah, what would you do if you succeeded?
Right.
I want to start taking questions from the page, like, and
Absolutely.
answering them. And here's a good one.
Okay.
It's
By
amazing.
Crassy Walls.
Okay.
Do you know any significance to the number 22, she asked.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of equating it to 44.
Well,
I was
yeah.
gonna say.
But
There's a lot of
22.
222s happening, 333,
Yeah.
444.
22, that's the number of paths on the Kabbalistic tree of life, and like I said, that's the microcosmic sort of steps we take in between macrocosmic portals known as the Sephiroth. They're planetary. It's almost like those are the different hallways through life we take, the stairway to heaven, so to speak, as Led Zeppelin literally called
It's
it.
a
They
good
were
place to
referring to
start.
that.
Then
Yeah.
maybe she's kind of just starting to tune into this
Yes.
more spiritual side of herself.
44 kind of encompasses both the night and dark side of the tree of life. So 44 is it's both both the light and dark microcosmic hallways we would take. And
44 is the microcosmic hallway.
well, no,
You know what's interesting?
That
What I discovered about 44 as I was working on our new timepiece, which
Wow.
I kind of channeled a new frame of time.
A new frame of time,
that
a time
I want
portal,
us
yeah.
to live by, but until I completely figure it out, I don't expect anyone to live by it because it doesn't make sense.
It's complex. Well, it makes sense to me.
But hugely, what I discovered the other day was, so like the coldest temperature ever, attained in Celsius has not been on the moon or in space, but in a laboratory on the Earth. And it was scientists using a laser to freeze an atom.
Wow.
And the closest they could get to absolute zero was a number I wrote out on the file. I can't.
Yeah, I've got this lying around somewhere.
It's somewhere. Anyways, I can't quite remember, something along the lines of like 497.34, but that's probably not it. But anyways, when I did the math, it literally came out to 44.
Yeah.
Perfectly. Whether you use addition or subtraction, like all of it literally came out to 44. So the closest we can get to absolute zero, like degrees, right, is if we freeze an atom. Now, another interesting fact is if we were to remove the oxygen between all of us, like I came up with that anatomic relativity theory when I was hanging out with James Lee, and I also discovered if we were to remove the oxygen between all of us, everybody on this entire Earth could fit inside an apple.
Yeah, wild.
Believe that.
The red moon, the apple, right?
Yeah, of course a red apple.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe a green apple, but
Yeah.
So yeah, it was also interesting to see that the closest that we could ever get to absolute zero is also equal to 44.
Incredible.
See,
yeah.
it's like ever since you guys have turned me on to this channel, this tuning into 44,
the current,
I've had this. There's no other word for it. It's manifestation. Like, I told you, man, I'm ready to go back to work. Like, I'm gonna start calling people.
Right. Yeah.
And
seems like a lot of good things have been happening. In your life.
It's hard to explain because it's so much. It's so grandiose. It's unbelievable even to me still. Like, I found a good place to live exactly where I wanted to. I got a job right when I wanted to. I sold a painting right when I wanted to do them, and people it just happened. It's hard to explain
I think
it.
when you start being around people who also want good things for you,
you guys claimed that
powerful.
you were praying for me.
The whole time, every day.
I
Lately,
felt that, like,
since we've been cultivating this, this current, it's like my right hand, every time I want something, I just kind of go like that with my right hand, and it comes, and every time I want to send something away with my left hand, I just go like that, and it goes away.
That's what I did with Smith the other night. I went, I need fucking money, and I put this $20 in, and fucking $500 showed up, and just like floored.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
seriously,
amazing
that just happened.
What most sense to me about like needing or wanting things.
And it was
is,
44.
Like the difference between like somebody who's a lifetime friend and just like a friend is it said like I think Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach said like somebody who is like kind of temporary will just say here's what you want and give it to you.
Right.
But somebody who's gonna be a friend in your life forever will say, I want you to have this as much as you need
Want
it.
it.
Right, yeah.
Or
Or
need
want to
it.
have, or you think you need to have
Yeah.
it. I
I've-
need to give it to you as much as you need to have it.
Right.
And that's the difference between like an ongoing current and something that's just temporary. And there's nothing wrong
With
Yeah.
temporary.
with temporary, but we just gotta see it for what it is.
Things are obviously not always going to be hunky-dory. You're not always going to win, money gambling. You can't always manifest good things. We like to bask sometimes in negativity. We like to enjoy apocalyptic dark themes. We enjoy nightmares from time to time, demons, because
There's that balance.
To not.
you have to do black magic if you're a magician.
You have good.
Because
you have
that's
bad.
life. You cannot just dance around parading in light all the time. It becomes Luciferian. Your eyes will beam with this false
there's
light.
so many memes and little quotes that say like everything negative in your life is not serving you.
Right. Get rid of drugs, get rid of
positive,
crying, get rid of
this and
everything.
that.
It's like that's impossible.
And it's
Just be a
like,
human.
imagine